It is 6:36 with COVID-19 on the rise again. Proof of vaccination or frequent testing and masking are one way that colleges and universities are considering to hope to slow the spread. But earlier this week, a joint legislative committee in Madison ruled that the UW system must go through lawmakers first to issue COVID-19 mandates on its campuses.
And so the move is sparking debate. Today, a mask mandate is taking effect at UW-Madison in defiance of those new rules. Our Ryan Jenkins is going 360 to hear all sides.
Some say the additional oversight protects students. Others argue the extra step puts students at risk. To fully understand each side of this debate, we're going 360. We hear from a doctor who stresses the importance of working together to beat this pandemic as the Delta variant causes a surge in cases nationwide. And from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle who were part of this controversial vote earlier this week. We also hear from the chair of the college Republicans at UW-Whitewater. He supports the new government oversight. And we start with this UWM student who says the university should be able to implement COVID-19 safety measures without the state's approval.
I think it's up to the school to decide what to do. I mean, it's a public university, so if we want the students to be safe and we want to go back to school, I think that's what should be done.
AREILLE Steward is a student at UW-Milwaukee. She believes schools should have the right to request proof of vaccine or to require masking in COVID-19 testing.
I feel like they want to move forward, move past, and go back to normal, but we can't do that if we're not taking the proper steps to get to the end of it.
But the state's Joint Committee for Review of Administrative Rules is adding a step. Any mandate set by the UW system must first go through them. John Beauchamp, the chair of the college Republicans at UW-Whitewater, supports the move.
People should be able to make their own decisions. Students should be able to make their own decisions on their health. That shouldn't be up to an unelected bureaucrat like we're seeing with the UW system.
He believes government oversight when it comes to COVID-19 is a good thing and could even help prevent additional learning loss after a challenging year.
I think the fatality rate for students our age, for the age of a typical student that would be in the UW system, is very low. As far as I'm aware, there's been no student has died due to COVID, to my knowledge. So I believe that we're able to get back to learning in person, and we're able to get back to as much of a sense of normal as we can anymore.
According to state data, 26 people under the age of 29 died from COVID in Wisconsin. That's out of the nearly 7,500 who have died since the pandemic began. Democratic State Representative Lisa SUBECK sits on the committee that voted to require a review of mandates, but voted against the measure. She believes a lack of mandates could impact more than just students.
I really worry not only about the spread of COVID then on campus, but also about students and faculty and staff bringing that back into our communities as well.
She also has serious concerns about the way the changes came about. No public comment, no committee discussion, just a paper ballot vote behind closed doors.
I think it's pretty clear that Republicans are moving in a direction that is dangerous to the health of the public and the health of our communities, and they don't want that seen.
But Republican State Representative Adam NEYLON calls the concern premature.
The step that happened today was simply requesting them to draft these rules. The next step of the process, when the rules are proposed, is the process that the public hearing would take place.
He says this change is to ensure things like vaccine mandates aren't enacted without proper steps.
If you want to promulgate rules that will help keep students there safely, I think you should go through the proper channels to do so.
Still, some in the UW system are moving forward with mandates without submitting rules for review. Starting today, a mask mandate takes effect on the UW-Madison campus. Vaccines are still strongly encouraged. And this week, the top infectious disease expert at UW Health told me that vaccine mandates are a move that, quote, appear to be in everyone's interest, end quote. It's unclear if the UW system will even try to enact one at this point. Ryan Jenkins, TMJ4 News.
And all of this got us wondering, what are other schools in the area doing? So here's what we found. Marquette University and Carthage College are mandating that all students get fully vaccinated before returning to campus. Others in the area are not requiring, but are strongly encouraging vaccination. Ryan has gone 360 on several other topics. Go to TMJ4.com